you choose your AI artist? There's so many tools out there, and now we have two juggernauts in the room that we are going to compare in real time today. We have Google with Gemini Advanced, and then we have OpenAI with DALL 3 from ChatGPT Plus. It's really interesting to see how this all shakes out. I haven't pre-tested these side by side, so I am going to be just as excited as you as we go through this. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ryan Staley, and I have been helping tech companies scale their revenue for the last 3.5 years after having 20 years in revenue leader roles and scaling organizations myself. Now, over the past 1.5 years, I've been obsessed with AI, maybe a little under 1.5 years. And I want to bring this to you today because I'm helping organizations grow through implementing these tools in their business. Let's get started, okay? So I'm going to share my screen with you, as you can see here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through, like I said, literally the side-by-side test. I did this with an overall example, and I've been kind of infatuated with this because for the first time, I feel like ChatGPT has a formidable competitor, right? Because for the longest time, it really wasn't that way. It was strictly, they were dominating everyone, if we could be completely honest. So as you can see, we got ChatGPT 4 or ChatGPT Plus on the right, and I have the Teams edition, and we have Google Gemini Advanced on the left. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through some really simple things as we go through this. I have some prompts pre-built, so go side by side with the prompt creation, and you're going to see what happens, okay? So what we're going to do is as we go through this, we're going to first of all start with something really simple. So one of the things that I like to do is if I have content that I'm creating for social content, or I have content that I like to create for a blog, or something for client detail presentations, what I want to do is I want to prompt it so then I could effectively leverage and basically have the AI create an image from all the text in there. So as you can see with these prompts, it says create 3 graphic examples that I could use. And why don't we just make it a Disney style, right? Let's make it Disney style. I'm going to make this example for both the prompts as a cover page. Okay, so we're going to do this. Let's do Disney style. And I probably should have done this to make it super simple. But here's what you can see in real time. Now, at the end, we have paste content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a popular LinkedIn post that I had, and we are going to go through this one. All right, I got like 54,000 impressions on it. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn, I have much more content on LinkedIn, but I am starting to get my YouTube game on because I love the video aspect of it. So we're just going to copy the content from here. And you could do this with anything. You could do this with a blog article if you're marketing. You could do this for sales content. And if you want to create a pattern interrupt, right? You could do that there. You could also do this pretty much for anything. You could even reverse engineer content as well, okay? So now that we have these both these 2 prompts dialed in, these are exactly the same. I'm going to give ChatGPT the advantage first, and then we're going to go to Google Gemini of literally a half second. So it'll be really interesting to see how this shakes out. Because like I said, this is generative AI and what we're doing. And if you look at it, there's Midjourney, which is much more detailed, which we can go over at a different time. However, for the majority of people, this is going to be really what they need because of the simplicity. And so as you can see here, it's really interesting. They gave me ideas for Gemini, whereas basically ChatGPT created it. Okay, love that, right? Yes, no, I'll just say go ahead. So Google gave me all 3 examples, all right? All 3 examples. And, this is a pretty darn cool picture that ChatGPT came up with, or I should say DALL-E, right? So definitely cool points there. Now, I'm really interested to see how this turns out for Gemini Advanced because I have not done a lot of image generation in here. So what it's doing is it's creating this out. What the hell is this? The growth chart rocket? Okay, that I don't. It looks like a little kid measurement. This is like gold, and this is kind of cool. But if I had to pick a winner for this first one, I would definitely say it was ChatGPT. They crushed it on this one. I really, really love the image here versus what Gemini did, especially with this one. This is kind of like the booby prize, or like that sound where it's like wah 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 wah. Anyways, All right, we're going to continue so you don't basically stop watching. Let's do another one. I have a comic strip prompt. And all these prompts that I'm showing you, I have in my membership area, which is freaking amazing. I share all these prompts, all these trainings so that you could literally become like a top 1% creator when it comes to using AI in terms of revenue, right? And that's sales and marketing. Okay, so what we have here is this is really a black and white, more like a cartoon image, right? And so what I'm going to do is, why don't we create, let's say, the drawing of a, let's say, a penguin in a tuxedo and top hat that is smiling. So I'm being oddly specific with what I'm looking for, right? And so we got, So we got this here on, boom. I'm just going to copy it and put it over here where it says insert description. So we're going to do that. And then I am going to let Gemini go first this time. Boom, boom. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so we're getting rolling. Oh, starting to create already. All right. Let's see. So they're both creating images. Let's check out the speed too. That's one of the factors you got to look at, is the speed and time when you're using ChatGPT versus when you're using Gemini. Okay, I like this. This is pretty freaking cool. Okay, and this only gave one. All right, like I love the fact that you could create 4 of them. It created 4 of them, whereas it only gave 1. These are really cool. Now, the one thing that this one is smiling, the others really aren't, and maybe that's fine. So why don't we just generate more and see what happens? That's the one thing about Gemini 2 that's cool. And I could say with ChatGPT, please create 3 more. Okay. And I mean, these are pretty visually stunning though. I mean, the detail is awesome. Here, I think this looks good as well. However, based on the fact that I might have to give this one to Gemini actually. So I think we got round 1. If we're looking at this just while we're finishing this, round 1, you know, if we're looking at prompting, we're looking at an AI tool it's really efficient. I think that would be ChatGPT with how fast it created. Round 2, I would say it's looking like, you know, basically Gemini is way faster when it came to this. And I don't know if it just had a hard time ingesting that text for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create one more picture. And these are pretty good. I think like these are all really good. You can't go wrong with either one of them. So let's go on to the next one. I think this round goes to Gemini Advanced though. So now we got Gemini Advanced 1 and we got ChatGPT Plus 1. All right. So the last but not least, we are going to go through, we're not going to go through a comic black and white. Let's do a cyberpunk, right? Let's do a cyber pick. So this is a prompt for a cyber pick. All right, so I'm going to put this in, and as you can see, what this prompt is we don't have to fill out the subject in every one, but I identified it so it identifies what the subject is. So the subject is let's just make it a vehicle. Let's not do an animal. So we're going to make it how about a Tesla? Hell yeah. Tesla. Just make it a Tesla car, right? Let's do it as Tesla car, right? So let's do this here. We're going to copy this here. Boom. Now let's do it over here. All right. Boom sauce. So now I think it's ChatGPT's turn to go first. So we'll hit that. And then we got Advanced next, or Gemini, I should say. Let's see how it all shakes out. Boom. We got it creating. So I love doing these how-to videos with these chatbot assistants or what it's doing. I get infatuated with just seeing what's possible, and always I come up with new ideas when I use these tools. Okay, so this is pretty freaking slick. I like that. Okay, so that's the Tesla. Oh, wow. I like this. I mean, once again, this creates 4. This looks like it's in the Matrix. This is freaking cool. However, like, if I wanted something that was a pattern interrupt, I think this would be the best one, right? Like if you looked at it. So I think, yeah, I think we might have to pick ChatGPT here. Now, this is pretty cool in the fact that it had all these different themes. Like I said, I really like that one. It's like very matrixy. This one's really freaking cool too. But the other thing that we could do too, as a bonus, and I don't even know if this is going to work, now create this picture in the style of Bob Ross. Remember Bob Ross, the happy little trees dude? I don't know, maybe you're not as old as I am, but he was the guy that would create those like happy little trees. He was on like basically and this is the bonus round, right? So he would create those like happy little trees with the brushes. He had like a big afro, kind of looked like Will Ferrell in, who's that, where he's playing a minor league basketball player. Anyways, if you don't know who Bob Ross is, check it out. But let's see if this works. This is just a pivot. Okay, so this is more, he does more like paintbrush or broad strokes. Ooh, ChatGPT could not do it. Interesting. All right. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, let's give it a chance if it's not too long. All right. I think, all right, I'm gonna stop sharing. So I want to wrap this video up because I want to make sure it's in a tight time frame for you so that you can check it out. So effectively what it is we found out, we look at this, and let me break it down and summarize just so you know how to use these tools, make it super simple when you're using AI tools for video generation and you're more on the beginning side. So if we want to create something and repopulate or have a theme more around like text, then I would say that's something that you would use basically ChatGPT for, right? I think that was the one that was really, really good. If we look at it, that was the visual. If we're looking at something with a hyper descriptive prompt that doesn't require text, but it's very visually creative, what we saw is both DALL-E 3 and Google Gemini did a good job on it. However, Google Gemini was way faster and it created multiple pictures. Okay, so I would say that round 2 goes to that. Then when we came to a hyper specific, visually stimulating graphic prompt, DALL-E 3 actually took the cake on that. Although I would say you couldn't go wrong with Gemini Advanced either. So that's a real quick review of this. I'm going to keep doing more of these. I also do basically business use cases on how to implement this. I'm going to keep going deeper on those. However, I want to give you some of these general overall examples so you know how to start applying this today and can use it. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next video.